got intentional about getting in rooms with people who were smarter than me, had more than me, saw more than me, been more places than me, did more things than me. And that opened up my mind to what I could be and what I could do, where I could go. Oh, so these ideas I have are not crazy.
Mm.
Like you guys are like, how come y'all are doing all this stuff? There was an episode of the Jeffersons, and they decided that they were gonna get a maid. And so the maid comes to the door, played by Marla Gibbs, and
Florence.
she's yeah, Florence. Florence comes to the door and she sees that there's these black people, and she thought that they were interviewing her for their boss, and then they're like, no, this is ours. And she said, well, and then when she answered the door, the lady from upstairs was also black living in the building. And she was like, well, my goodness, how come we overcame and nobody told me? And that's where I was. It's just like, you have the ability to overcome, but nobody's offering this information to you. You got to go out and get it. You got to go out and be in the room. You got to go out there and see it being done so that you know we've been overcame.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And you can too.
That's good. That's so good. That's so good. Mignon, have one of the things that I explore, I'm fascinated about is people's spiritual gifts. Have you done any exploration, assessment, kind of to discover your spiritual gifts? And if you have, how does it tie into the work you do at the Cupcake Collection?
This is so good. You're making me want to write down so I could go back and get that assessment. My church did an assessment of spiritual gifts, and I cannot remember what that thing said. But it was so good. I think it was the gift of speaking, of like evangelism.
Come on now. I see you preaching. Come on.
Yeah, I was going to say, I have this gift of influence that I don't understand.
Yeah.
That if I say, hey guys, you should come over and do that, like people want to do it.
Yeah.
And I wish that I did understand it, because maybe I could tap into it more. But I remember that being on my spiritual gifts quiz that we took at our church. And it goes down to what I'm doing right now in my life. Like I said to you earlier, I promised God, just make me successful. God, if you do this thing for me, I will give you all of my life. And the Bible says that pressed down, shaken together, running over, back in good measure, will men pour into your bosom. So it's not when you give of your gift and your talent, your time, your resources, it will be given back to you. Pressed down, shaken together, running over. And as I was doing some research on this word bosom, it is because in this biblical society, pockets hadn't been made yet. I just stuck my hands in my pockets. Pockets didn't exist. And there's this whole trending sound on Instagram said it has pockets. As women, we get so excited when a dress has pockets in it. But pockets hadn't been made yet. So their garb had a gap in it that you could open up to put stuff into your chest. And when God says press down, shaking together, running over, will men pour into your bosom to where it overflowed and fell into your lap.
Wow.